year and the end of an era for some of our favorite film franchises. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 best movies of 2019. For this list, we're taking a look at the most outstanding movies released in 2019. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below.
It makes me wanna fly. It makes me wanna fly. It makes me wanna fly. It makes me feel so alive, so alive, so alive. It makes me wanna fly.
Number 10, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
What are you doing there, 3PO?
Taking one last look, sir, at my friends.
When the credits rolled on Return of the Jedi, audiences assumed that they had seen the last of a galaxy far, far away. Little did we realize that the original Star Wars trilogy would become the center of a sandwich with the prequel and sequel trilogies serving as its bread.
It's an instinct. A feeling. The Force brought us together.
It's all come down to the gripping finale, and while The Rise of Skywalker has pretty much divided everyone like The Last Jedi before it, it's a satisfying enough conclusion to this decades-long franchise that pulled off its near-impossible feat of tying up such an expansive saga. That's enough for us.
The Force will be with you.
Always.
Number 9, The Lighthouse.
What's a timberman want with being a wickie?
Just looking to earn a living, just like any man. Starting new.
On the run.
Of all the cinematic locales 2019 took us to, none were as menacing or mystifying than this film's titular lighthouse.
Keeping secrets, are you?
No, sir.
Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe make for one of the year's most enthralling duos as two wickies who have been confined to a secluded island. Pattinson and Dafoe deliver such larger-than-life performances that the 1.9 to 1 aspect ratio can barely contain them. This makes the experience all the more claustrophobic as tension and insanity begin to bear down like a trash compactor.
How long have we been on this rock? 5 weeks? 2 days? Help me to recollect.
With the film draped in black and white cinematography, the lighthouse serves as a guiding light. What remains unclear is if the lighthouse is guiding the characters towards salvation or a brutal downfall. Either way, the final image is one that'll be analyzed for years to come. Number 8, Us.
But it does appear we are in the midst of a brutal and terrifying attack by people who are being described as wearing red, carrying scissors or shears, and doing what can only be described as wreaking havoc on folks.
And they look like us.
In Get Out, Jordan Peele made audiences everywhere think twice about the people they break bread with. Even when they appear friendly, something much darker may be lurking behind closed doors. Peele explores a similar theme in Us, although this time he emphasizes the darkness within ourselves. What sounds more horrifying, being tormented by a stranger or being tormented by your own shadow?
You're scaring the kids.
Too late.
For the Wilsons, strangers and shadows become one and the same as they're visited by a family of hostile doppelgangers.
We want to take our time. We've been waiting for this day for so long.
Thus ensues a heart-pounding work of horror that plays out like a home invasion movie meets Invasion of the Body Snatchers. With ingenious payoffs, dark humor, and a mesmerizing dual performance from Lupita Nyong'o, Us is still crawling under our skin. Number 7, Knives Out.
The family is truly desperate. When people get desperate, the knives come out.
On the heels of The Last Jedi, director Rian Johnson decided to tackle a project that couldn't be more different, Knives Out. Actually, the divisive fan response to Last Jedi had a significant impact on Johnson while making this film, seeing how one suspect is an internet troll. Aside from drawing on his own life experiences, this murder mystery is a clear homage to Clue, Gosford Park, and Agatha Christie. While the seeds of inspiration are apparent throughout, Knives Out grows into something completely unique.
That's some heavy-duty conjecture.
Funny, Ransom, you skipped the funeral, but you're early for the will reading.
This whodunit solidifies Johnson as one of the boldest and most innovative voices working in Hollywood today. It doesn't hurt that Johnson has a phenomenal cast in his corner with a standout lead performance from Daniel Craig.
I suspect Foul play. I have eliminated no suspects.
Number 6, Jojo Rabbit.
I don't think I can do this.
Was? Of course you can.
Given the controversial subject matter, it makes sense that the reception to this Nazi satire has ranged from inventive and daring to offensive and irresponsible. Both Mel Brooks' The Producers and Ernst Lubitsch's To Be or Not to Be were met with similar reactions when they came out. Just as those films became comedy classics though, we have every confidence that Jojo Rabbit will be remembered as one of the greats. You may go in ready to laugh at director Taika Waititi's uproarious portrayal of Adolf Hitler, but you'll also be surprised to find just how warm and bittersweet the story is.
You're not a Nazi, Jojo. You're a 10-year-old kid who likes dressing up in a funny uniform and wants to be part of a club.
Waititi's film is immature yet insightful, mischievous yet innocent, and imaginative yet honest, speaking to the child in us all.
Okay? Oh, God.
Number 5, The Irishman. De Niro, Pacino, Pesci, Scorsese. Need we say more?
I want you to meet my cousin, Russell Buffalino.
Better watch, there's a lot of tough guys around here. Did he tell you?
The Irishman chronicles the fascinating relationship between hitman Frank Sheeran, union leader Jimmy Hoffa, and mob boss Russell Buffalino. Sheeran comes to view both men as brothers, which accumulates in one of the most tense, heartbreaking, and haunting third acts in cinematic history.
Hiya, Frank. Would you like to be a part of history?
Yes, I would.
Big business and the government are working together, trying to pull us apart. Something's got to be done.
The Irishman not only earns comparison to Martin Scorsese's best works, but the finest movies ever made about organized crime. Much like The Godfather or Once Upon a Time in America, this is an epic that makes the audience feel as if they've lived out another person's life by the time it's over.
I know things they don't know I know.
Just as life can fly by in the blink of an eye, the 209-minute runtime here miraculously seems too short. Number 4, Joker. Speaking of Scorsese, his influence can be found in every crevice of Joker, channeling Taxi Driver and the King of Comedy.
You can say that again, pal.
Director Todd Phillips rolled the dice with this psychological thriller, touching upon gun violence, lower-class struggles, and mental health through the eyes of an iconic villain. The result, however, was a captivating character study, as well as a harrowing reflection of our world.
For my whole life, I didn't know if I even really existed. But I do. And people are starting to notice.
While Phillips's direction, Lawrence Sher's eerie cinematography, and Hildur Guðnadóttir's unnerving score are all commendable, there wouldn't be a movie without Joaquin Phoenix.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
In what's arguably the performance of the year, Phoenix molds Arthur Fleck into a chilling menace with the theatricality of Alex DeLarge, the tragic nature of Norman Bates, and the lasting appeal of his comic book counterpart. Number 3, Avengers Endgame. Joker may have been a major risk, but when it began, the MCU was a gamble unlike anything the industry had ever seen.
This is gonna work, Steve.
I know it will. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't.
Yet Marvel is still reaping the benefits with Captain Marvel, Spider-Man Far From Home, and of course, Avengers Endgame. The Infinity Saga's climactic showdown is everything we could have hoped for and then some.
Avengers!
Assemble.
The film is a rousing celebration of the past decade, revisiting past chapters, tying up loose ends, and bringing back virtually every major hero. At the same time, Endgame boldly looks to the future with fun new ideas, unexpected twists, and sacrifices that truly feel earned.
We're gonna be okay. You can rest now.
It all culminates in what might be the most ambitious finale ever put to film. As far as we're concerned, this is cinema at its most triumphant. Number 2, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Throughout the past decade, society has been fixated on nostalgia. We guess you could say Quentin Tarantino was ahead of the curve, as he's always been obsessed with the past. In Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino delivers a love letter to a bygone era of filmmaking.
It's official, old buddy. Well, it has been.
It was a seemingly more innocent time, but something sinister loomed on the horizon.
Charlie's gonna dig you.
And that gospel group
One tragedy in particular would change Hollywood, as well as the rest of America, forever. In this spellbinding film, Tarantino turns back the clock to the 11th hour and then pulls the rug out from under us.
In this town, that can all change like that.
What we're left with is an unlikely fairy tale, a thought-provoking exploration of alternative history, and a hilarious buddy picture carried by a pair of stellar performances from Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Thea, you can't kill the bearer of your marker.
I didn't kill you. I just shot you. Nice suit.
Good to see you too.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine?
This is Major Roy McBride. I'm attempting to reach Dr. Clifford McBride. This is Dr. McBride's son. Dad, I'd like to see you again.
You can't be friends with him anymore.
Dreamer!
Charlie Bird! Mom! Mom? Mom! What?
And so, without any further blethering, let's raise our glasses and let our 9-day feast commence. Skål! Skål!
I'm done. It means nothing. It meant nothing. Please. Give me another shot.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Parasite.
우리 다송이는 완전 예술가 재질인데.
침팬지를 그린 거죠?
자화상이에요.
Every once in a while, a film comes along when you want to go in completely blind. Parasite is such a movie, dropping bombshells around every corner and growing more unpredictable with every passing second.
아 잠깐. 제시카 외동딸 일리노이 시카고 과선배는 김치모 그는 이사촌.
With that in mind, we'll try to give away as little as possible here. Let's just say that the whole movie is like a snowball. It starts off small, but once it begins rolling downhill, it just keeps getting larger, faster, and more destructive. Snowpiercer director Bong Joon-ho has made a film with the thrills of a heist caper and the shock value of a dark comedy.
과외 선생님 좀 해줘라, 영어.
대학생인 척하라는 거야? 구라를 좀 치지 뭐.
Joon-ho also offers captivating commentary on social class, leaving us to wonder who really deserves our sympathy in the grand scheme of things. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.
Makes me wanna